Welcome back to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent here with Nathan Najib, the blueprint to help you become a millionaire real estate agent. Last week, or maybe it was the week before, we spoken about a real estate agent is a glorified telemarketer. And one of the things that the most important task of real estate agent is to make phone calls, right? Being a prospector. And I've asked, a lot of people ask me, like, can you just double click on the prospecting side of things, right? So I've put a list of things that I do and I've done and I encourage my people to do here to help you generate leads, because the reason you prospect is to help you generate leads, right? And prospecting, one of my friend, our friend Phil Harris, who's the founder of Harris Real Estate, he's one of the best agents on the planet, I reckon. He said once, and it was pretty good way to describe a real estate or a task that you get paid potentially a lot to do. He said, I think in a conference he was speaking, he said that if somebody pays you $100,000, $200,000 or $1 million a year, and all you had to do is clean the front of the office every single day for 3 hours, so it just looks absolutely stunning, would you do it? Everybody put their hand up, of course, right? So if somebody gets you, prospecting is similar to that, but it needs to be consistent. It needs to be every day, all day. Most agents do not do that. And then why? You ask them, why is your results so mediocre, right? They like, oh no, I'm doing all I can. It's like, have you prospected yesterday? How many people you called yesterday? Oh no, I've been texting and I've been calling as I was running around. Yes, I appreciate that. That is cool. But what you need to do, the best agents are the ones that put 3 hours, at least 2 hours aside, and make phone calls every single day. Like 5 days a week, 250 phone calls a week, 50 calls a week. 50 calls a day. That comes to 250 calls a week. And now when you make those phone calls, so let's come the prospects side of things. When you make the phone calls, now what you're doing is, like, one of the things that I'm suggesting is, if you're an agent that's been around for a while or an agent that's just started, work on your script and dialogues. And what I say is, what you do is, like, you've got to know what you're talking about. If you're just calling people and just chasing listings, that is not an ideal way to build a long-term, sustainable, successful business. So what you do is you call people, build a relationship, of course, talk to them, chat to them, let them know about the market, and then qualify them from there. Are they looking to sell or no? They just very happy at the house they are in. Okay, great, fantastic. So make a note, and then if they're thinking about selling, right, how can we help them? If they're not thinking about selling now, but they're thinking about selling in 6 months' time, so they need to go on your 6 months plus sellers list. So there has to be some sort of system that people get followed up and followed through. This was an interesting stats. Most people will do business with you at least 3 times after you contact them. Like, you got to contact them 3 times for them to say, yeah, potentially yes, right? And only 20% of agents that picks up the phone and makes a second phone call. Where 80% of business comes after at least 3rd phone call, right? So consistency is the cure. Follow up and follow through. And then how do you refine or make your scripts and dialogues better? You've learned about the market. You do a lot of trainings. You record yourself and listen to yourself afterwards, right? See how you went, right? And then the second type of prospecting is, once you hopefully generate some leads and then convert those leads to listings, then you've got open homes. You turn up to open homes, and there was stats that somebody shared a little while back. 1 out of 4 people that come through an open home, they're either researching or initial researching on what agents to use, or they're already on the market, right? So what you need to do is you need to make sure you follow up with those leads, right? And follow through again, like to help them list their properties, right? And the property, when a buyer comes through an open home, right? You have got obviously going to get you the details, follow up, because most agents, most people that come through an open home, they don't get followed up. Most agents don't even make the initial phone calls, right? So if you're an agent that makes the initial phone call and then help them with this property they're looking for, or maybe you can help find something else, and if they've got a house to sell, then you can go and appraise their property and potentially sell their house. One of the things that's important is make sure the homes that you're selling, it needs to be at or above average sale price. Why? Because most of those people have got houses to sell, right? If you're selling first home properties, it's great, good for you, but there's not going to be any business off the back of that, because first home buyers or investors, they usually don't have houses to sell, right? The next one is monthly deliveries. Doing deliveries in your area, that's a form of prospecting as well. It's like helping you generate leads, people get to know you in the area. And then door knocking could be obviously if you list a property in an area, you're doing 20 20 10 one side, 10 other side, 20 the other side, across the road. And also just door knocking in an area that you specialize in, right? And then the prospecting, as I've spoken about, between 9 to 11. If you come to our office 9 to 11, every salesperson I expect to be on the phone. And agents that don't want to do that, they won't. They may get a few sales, but that's not a long-term recipe for success. I say, like, everybody wants to be successful, but nobody wants to do the hard work, right? The hard work is picking up the phone, making phone calls. Sounds pretty easy, but actually, you know what, to be honest, most people do not like doing that, at least not consistently, right? And then obviously emails. Once you build your database, you got the email addresses, you send them emails regularly, market update perhaps, or if they're buyers list, you send them the buyers, another property that comes to the market, kind of similar to that property that they came through, have a look at. So that's another one. Texting is so important nowadays. It used to be, when I started real estate 16 years ago, you seen a text to somebody, they kind of get offended. It's like, I'm selling my house or I'm buying a house and you're just sending me a text. That's kind of rude, right? And agents back then, old school agents, the dinosaur, they didn't like to send texts at all. They would actually get I'm not going to send a text. Who sends texts? Yes, it might have been right back then, but nowadays, I text my buyers, I text my sellers, I text everybody, and it's people actually like to receive texts rather than making phone calls, picking up the phone and getting disturbed on whatever they're doing, right? And then this is great how you're doing the prospecting for sure, right? To generate leads. The most important thing is nurturing clients. I think to be able to build an amazing business, amazing real estate business, when you're doing consistently great numbers, doesn't matter what the market is doing, up or down, it's about nurturing your clients. Meaning, once you find out you connect with somebody, that is not the only time you connect. You keep on keeping consistent in touch with them. I've had a lot of my clients, they usually would say, like, Nathan, we had to go with you because you've been in touch with us for the last 14 years or last 15 years. And anybody from our office here, some of our agents, when they go and take over a listing, for example, one that was yesterday that Showers marketing down Kaylee's Road. Daz and Nicole, I sold Darren's place in Rolleston here, a section to sell. That was probably 15 years ago. That's when I just got into the business, right? And I've been in touch with him since. We managed his properties, and then we sold another house. We sold this house. We're selling, one of our agents here is selling Nicole's house now, right? And majority of my business is just that, because I've been in touch with them. I've nurtured them. I've called them on their birthdays. I've called them on their wedding anniversary. I've called them on the anniversary when they bought the house, and all of a sudden, they call me and say, hey, I'm thinking about selling. We're not going to go with nobody. Now that business is people can't compete with you, right? People cannot compete with you because you've built rapport with these people for so long, and they know you're not just a salesperson, you're just gonna get a sale and move on. Like I tell people, like, you go in competition against me, good luck, because you know what? Most people that I do presentations for, they've known me for a long time. Like the area, one of the areas that I specialize in, West Milton, and we sell most of the houses in West Milton, is most people say, like, if we're selling a house, we'll be definitely coming to you. We're doing a presentation on Saturday when Michael was with me, right, Michael, on Saturday, and they were saying that most of the neighbors here, they will sell through you, but they don't ideally like buying through you because you'll make them pay the most money possible, right? So when you got that kind of reputation attached to you, when you're known as not just a salesperson who is just about getting deals together, then, my friends, this game of real estate becomes a lot of fun, and prospecting it becomes fun, right? Yes, I understand when you're making initial prospecting calls, it's not easy, but once you get used to it, it's actually quite fun, because all you're doing is calling people, start a relationship with people. If they're brand new people, you start a relationship with them. If they're already in your database, you've spoken to them a few times, you're actually building on the relationship that you already have, and you just ask them, what is the I can do for you? Again, script and dialogues. And to be able to have good script and dialogues, you need to be a competent real estate or a salesperson. Know about the market, know about people's needs, know what the interest rate is doing, and everything, so they can give people great advice and have long-term success. So this is my prospecting things that I do when I prospect. If you need anything else, send me an email, give me a call. I'm more than happy to help. And as I've said in the past, we do Saturday trainings here at Najib Real Estate. It's open to everybody. You're more than welcome to join us. I'm away for the next 2 weeks, and not this next 2 weeks, but send me an email and we can have you here doing this training. We talk about mindset, skill set, and system, and I double click on each and every one of those in every week. So subscribe to our channel to receive videos as they come out. Thank you for your time, and I hope this has been of help to you. Good luck prospecting, and have a great rest of the week. To your success. Salute.